What makes a city truly empowering for Black Americans? Is it low crime rates, thriving Black-owned businesses, or affordable housing? Or does it go deeper, like seeing yourself represented in local leadership or finding a real sense of belonging? Today, we're going to break down exactly which U.S. cities offer real pathways to safety, wealth building, and community for Black families. We'll look at places like Atlanta's cultural capital, Raleigh-Durham's tech-fueled renaissance, and the wealthiest Black county in America, Prince George's County. Stay with us as Postcard Views uncovers the places where Black Americans are rising, thriving, and rewriting the narrative. Hit that like button, subscribe, and don't miss a second of what's coming. But before we get into the list, let's talk about what actually sets a community apart. The criteria that define thriving communities. When we talk about the places where Black Americans are truly thriving, it comes down to a handful of key factors that set those communities apart. The criteria are straightforward but powerful: safety, affordable housing, economic opportunity, cultural inclusivity, access to quality education and healthcare, and representation in leadership. These 6 areas aren't just boxes to check. They're the building blocks of a city where Black families can put down roots and build a future. Let's start with safety. A secure environment is non-negotiable. It's not just about feeling comfortable walking your neighborhood at night, it's about knowing your family, your home, and your investments are protected. When crime rates are low, it's easier for families to settle in and for businesses to thrive. That sense of security is the foundation for everything else. Next up is affordable housing. In too many cities, rising costs are pushing families out of neighborhoods they've called home for generations. Affordable homes mean more than just a place to sleep. They mean stability, the chance to build equity, and the opportunity to pass something on to the next generation. Homeownership is one of the strongest ways to build wealth over time, but Black Americans still face a significant gap here. According to LendingTree, Black homeownership rates sit at about 35%, far below the national average, and that gap makes a real difference in long-term financial security. Economic opportunity is just as crucial. It's not enough to have jobs available. Those jobs need to offer real pathways to advancement and wealth building. The average Black household income in 2019 was around $43,000, which is well below the national average. But in some cities, Black residents are earning significantly more, and that's a sign of upward mobility that can change lives. Alongside income, entrepreneurship is a major factor. Black-owned businesses make up around 3.3% of U.S. businesses, according to LendingTree. While that number is still too low, some cities are making real progress, with strong networks of Black entrepreneurs and professionals who support one another. Cultural inclusivity is another piece of the puzzle. It's about more than just diversity, it's about belonging. In a truly inclusive community, Black residents see themselves reflected in local traditions, festivals, businesses, and leadership. That sense of representation can make all the difference, turning a city from just another dot on the map into a place where people want to stay and invest. Education and healthcare can't be overlooked. Strong schools give kids the tools they need to succeed, and quality healthcare means families can thrive without worrying about basic needs. Across the country, about 23% of Black Americans have a bachelor's degree, and in some of the cities we'll highlight, that number is even higher. Access to these resources helps level the playing field and creates a foundation for generational progress. Representation in leadership ties everything together. When city councils, school boards, and local governments include Black voices, the policies and priorities shift to better meet the needs of Black communities. It's a simple equation: when leadership is diverse, the community benefits. What sets the cities on our list apart is that they excel in all these areas, not just one or two. These are places where the numbers back up the stories: higher Black homeownership rates, rising incomes, more Black-owned businesses, and real representation. The progress in these cities isn't just about statistics, it's about the lived experience of Black families who feel supported by their neighbors, their schools, and their local leaders. At the end of the day, the goal isn't just to find a city with good numbers on a spreadsheet. It's to find places where Black Americans can build wealth, feel safe, and see themselves reflected in the world around them. These cities are proving that it's possible. So, let's take a closer look at a city that's become a national symbol for Black achievement and opportunity. Atlanta, the blueprint for Black success. Atlanta stands out as the blueprint for Black success in America, and it's not just hype. The city consistently ranks #1 for Black economic mobility on the Urban League Equality Index, which means it's leading the nation in helping Black residents move up the economic ladder. The numbers back this up. The median Black household income here is around $60,000 to $61,000, well above the national average. That kind of financial progress doesn't happen by accident. Atlanta has put real effort into creating an environment where Black families can thrive, building systems that support both individual and community growth. One of the biggest drivers of Atlanta's success is its entrepreneurial spirit. Metro Atlanta is home to the highest share of Black-owned businesses in the country, with 8.8% of businesses being Black-owned, a national best. This isn't just about quantity, either. You'll find Black entrepreneurs here running everything from cutting-edge tech startups to major entertainment companies. The city's business ecosystem is built on support, collaboration, and a sense of shared purpose. People talk about how Atlanta makes it easier to find mentors, secure funding, and connect with others who understand the unique challenges Black entrepreneurs face. It's a place where good ideas can turn into real opportunities. Atlanta's leadership and representation are also major reasons for its success. The city's legacy as a center of the civil rights movement, with figures like Martin Luther King Jr., set the stage for a long tradition of Black mayors and officials who prioritize their communities. Today, that legacy is reflected in policies and initiatives that actually address the needs of Black residents. When the people in charge look like the people they serve, it shows in the results. Culture is another area where Atlanta leads the way. The city isn't just a business hub, it's a cultural powerhouse. Events like the Atlanta Black Pride Festival and the A3C Hip Hop Festival bring people together from all over, highlighting Black art, music, and history. Atlanta's influence on music, film, and food is felt across the country. Living here means being part of a community that celebrates Black culture every day, not just during special events. The city's energy comes from this constant mix of history and innovation, where tradition meets what's next. Personal stories from people who've moved to Atlanta really drive home what makes the city different. You'll hear about folks who left behind places where they felt invisible or unsupported, only to find a real sense of belonging here. Atlanta's reputation isn't just about stats, it's about how people actually feel living in the city. That feeling spills over into the way businesses operate and the way neighborhoods support each other. When one person succeeds, it's seen as a win for everyone. Of course, Atlanta isn't without its challenges. Traffic is a daily headache for a lot of residents, and as more people move in, housing affordability is becoming a bigger issue. Prices are rising, and some longtime residents worry about being priced out. Still, compared to cities like Los Angeles or New York, Atlanta remains more accessible for families looking to build wealth. The city's relatively affordable cost of living, paired with strong economic opportunities, makes it a practical choice for those who want both stability and upward mobility. What really makes Atlanta stand out is that it's not just holding on to its reputation, it's constantly working to improve. The city keeps attracting ambitious people who want to make a difference, whether that's by climbing the corporate ladder, launching a business, or simply finding a community that feels like home. The sense of shared progress is strong here. When one person breaks through, others follow. Atlanta proves what's possible when a city invests in its Black residents, blending economic growth, cultural vibrancy, and real leadership. It's no wonder so many people see it as the ultimate destination for Black success. But Atlanta's not the only place making waves. There are other cities quietly building their own legacies, places you might not expect, where opportunity and quality of life go hand in hand. For example, there's a metro area some are calling a new Black Renaissance, and it's attracting families and professionals looking for that perfect mix of growth and community. Raleigh-Durham, a hidden gem of opportunity. Raleigh-Durham has been flying under the radar, but it's quickly becoming a top pick for Black professionals and families looking for something different. This metro area is all about balance, steady economic growth, real community, and some of the highest Black educational attainment rates in the country. It's not as flashy as Atlanta or Houston, but what it offers is just as valuable, a place where you can build a future without giving up quality of life. One of the biggest things setting Raleigh-Durham apart is education. Black residents here have some of the highest rates of college graduation in the nation, thanks in part to the area's powerhouse universities. You've got North Carolina State, Duke, and North Carolina Central University, an HBCU that's been shaping leaders for generations. That focus on education spills right over into the workforce. Black professionals in Raleigh-Durham are earning median household incomes well above the national average, and that's not just a statistic, it's a sign that the city is creating real pathways to wealth and stability. The job market here is strong, especially in tech, healthcare, and research. The Research Triangle is known for its innovation, and that's drawing in ambitious people from all over. Black-owned businesses are making their mark, too, especially in the tech startup scene. More and more, you'll hear about families moving from places like New York or Chicago, trading high living costs for Raleigh-Durham's mix of opportunity and affordability. Remote work has only made that trend stronger, giving people the chance to keep their big city jobs while enjoying a lower cost of living. Speaking of affordability, Raleigh-Durham still comes out ahead of most tech hubs. Home prices have been rising, but owning a house here is still more doable than in cities like Boston or San Francisco. For Black families who felt priced out elsewhere, this is a big deal. Homeownership is one of the best ways to build generational wealth, and in Raleigh-Durham, that goal is actually within reach. The neighborhoods are clean, quiet, and family-friendly, with schools that parents consistently rate as some of the best around. Community is another area where Raleigh-Durham stands out. Black-owned businesses are growing, and there's a real effort to support each other. Whether it's a local restaurant, a small boutique, or a tech company, the community shows up. Cultural festivals, networking events, and a general sense of looking out for one another make this place feel connected. It's not just about numbers, it's about people investing in each other's success. Of course, no city is perfect. As more people move in, housing costs are creeping up, and there's always the worry that rapid growth could change what makes the area special. Longtime residents are paying attention to how development is handled, hoping Raleigh-Durham can hold onto its mix of opportunity and affordability. So far, the city has managed to balance growth with inclusivity, keeping its focus on creating space for everyone. What really sets Raleigh-Durham apart is how intentional the progress feels. This isn't a city growing by accident, it's a place where leaders, businesses, and residents are working together to make sure opportunity is available at every level. For Black families who want both career growth and a high quality of life, Raleigh-Durham is a real contender. It's not just about surviving, it's about finding a place where you can actually thrive. Now, if homeownership is at the top of your list, there's another city that's making waves for Black families looking to build wealth. Let's talk about a place where buying a home is more than just a dream, it's becoming a reality for more and more people. Houston, homeownership, diversity, and culture. Houston stands out for Black Americans looking for a city that offers stability, opportunity, and a strong sense of community. The city leads all major metros in Black homeownership, with rates above 42% according to both Forbes and LendingTree. That's not just a number, it's a signal that Houston is a place where Black families can actually build wealth and pass it on to the next generation. Here, buying a home isn't just possible for a select few, it's a realistic goal for many, thanks to affordable housing and programs that help Black residents clear the usual hurdles of homeownership. The local government and community organizations have put real effort into making homeownership accessible. Houston offers targeted programs like down payment assistance and financial education specifically for first-time Black homebuyers. These initiatives don't just talk about equity, they actually help families close the gap that's kept so many locked out of the market in other cities. The result is a city where more Black families are able to put down roots, start building equity, and invest in their futures. Houston's economy is another big draw. The energy and healthcare sectors dominate here, providing steady, well-paying jobs that offer a path to financial security. For Black professionals, this means opportunities in industries with real staying power. The job market is strong, with unemployment rates for Black residents often coming in below the national average. Median Black household income in Houston is outpacing the national median, which means more families are able to save, invest, and move up the economic ladder. Community is a huge part of what makes Houston feel different. With nearly 1 million Black residents, the second largest Black population of any U.S. city outside Atlanta, there's a built-in support system that's hard to find elsewhere. Black-owned businesses are everywhere, from neighborhood restaurants and coffee shops to boutiques and art galleries. You get the sense that people here look out for one another, and that support goes beyond just business, it's about belonging. Culturally, Houston doesn't just have a Black community, it has a Black identity that's central to the city's vibe. The Third Ward is a perfect example. This neighborhood has a rich history and is home to cultural icons like Beyoncé. The area's revival has brought new energy, with local art galleries and music venues putting Black creativity front and center. Events like the Houston Black Heritage Festival show off the city's pride and bring people together to celebrate culture, music, and history. The food scene is just as lively, mixing Southern classics with international flavors that reflect Houston's diversity. Affordability is another reason so many families are choosing Houston over other big metros. While cities like New York and Los Angeles keep getting more expensive, Houston's cost of living remains manageable. Homes are still within reach for many families, allowing people to buy instead of rent and actually see a future in the city. This affordability means families aren't forced to spend everything just to keep up, they can save, invest, and plan for what's next. That said, Houston isn't without its challenges. The city's rapid growth has led to rising home prices and concerns about gentrification, especially in historically Black neighborhoods. Some longtime residents worry about being priced out as new development moves in. But Houston is responding with targeted efforts, down payment grants, affordable housing initiatives, and community-driven programs that aim to keep Black families in the neighborhoods they've helped build. These aren't just promises, they're real steps toward making sure opportunity is shared as the city grows. For many, buying a home in Houston is more than just a financial move, it's a moment of pride and a sign that cycles of renting and instability are finally being broken. Residents talk about the feeling of being part of a neighborhood where their success is celebrated, not seen as an exception. That sense of community and achievement is what makes Houston more than just a place to live, it's a place to belong. Houston is showing what's possible when a city takes action to support Black homeownership, economic growth, and cultural pride. It's a model for how diversity and opportunity can go hand in hand, creating a city where families can thrive for generations. But what if you're looking for a community where economic opportunity and generational wealth are the norm, not the exception? There's a county that's become a national symbol for Black excellence and legacy. Let's take a closer look at what it means to live in the wealthiest Black county in America. Prince George's County, the wealthiest Black county in America. Prince George's County, Maryland, stands out as a real-life example of what happens when Black economic opportunity and community support come together in one place. Known as the wealthiest Black county in America, it's not just about high incomes, it's about how the area manages to combine wealth, homeownership, and business growth in a way that's rare for any U.S. suburb. Let's look at the numbers that set Prince George's County apart. In the D.C. metro area, which includes this county, the median Black household income is $82,045, the highest among large U.S. metros. That's a big jump from the national median of $69,021. Even more telling, 40.5% of Black households here earn $100,000 or more each year. That puts the region in the top 3 nationwide for high-earning Black families. This isn't just a few lucky folks, it's a whole community where financial strength is the norm, not the exception. Homeownership is another area where Prince George's County leads. Over 51% of Black residents in the D.C. metro area own their homes, a rate that's well above the national average. That's a huge deal because homeownership is one of the most reliable ways to build generational wealth. Instead of fighting to get a foot in the door, families here are building equity, gaining stability, and setting up their kids for a better future. Local programs like the Black Homeownership Fund make a difference by helping more Black families buy homes, making the dream of ownership a reality for more people. The county's business scene is just as strong. Black-owned businesses make up about 7% of all businesses in the DC metro area, which is higher than most places in the country. That means more money stays in the community, more jobs are created by Black entrepreneurs, and there's a real network of support for those looking to start or grow a business. The Commercial Property Acquisition Fund is one example of how the area encourages business ownership, giving Black entrepreneurs the tools they need to succeed. A big part of what makes Prince George's County so successful is its location. Being right next to Washington, D.C. opens up a ton of job opportunities in government, law, policy, and other high-paying fields. Residents often work in federal agencies, law firms, or think tanks, which helps keep incomes high and unemployment low. The county's proximity to the nation's capital also means residents have easy access to cultural events, museums, and political happenings. This isn't just a place to live, it's a place where people can have a voice in national conversations and see their influence in action. Living in Prince George's County means being surrounded by people who value education, career achievement, and giving back to the community. Schools are strong, and there's a real focus on helping kids succeed. Neighbors look out for each other, and community events, from local art shows to cultural festivals, bring people together. Residents talk about the pride they feel not just in their own accomplishments, but in being part of a county where Black excellence is the standard. Compared to other mostly suburban counties in the DC region, nowhere else matches this mix of high incomes, strong homeownership, and business ownership rates. In many other suburbs, Black families still face barriers to building wealth or finding representation in local leadership. Here, those barriers are much lower and the support systems are stronger. It's not just about individual achievement, it's about creating an environment where everyone can move forward together. Of course, there are challenges. As more people realize the benefits of living here, housing prices are rising, and there's always the risk of long-time residents being priced out. But Prince George's County is taking steps to avoid those pitfalls, using targeted programs to help families stay in their homes and keep the community's unique character intact. The focus isn't just on growth, it's on making sure growth benefits everyone. What stands out most about Prince George's County is that success here isn't isolated to a handful of people. It's shared. The county shows what's possible when representation, opportunity, and community pride all work together. For Black families looking for a place to put down roots, build wealth, and feel supported, this county sets the bar. And when you look at places like Prince George's County alongside cities like Atlanta, Houston, and Raleigh-Durham, you start to see a bigger picture. These aren't just places to live, they're proof that Black Americans can find success, safety, and a sense of belonging all in one community. From Atlanta's unmatched culture and mobility, to Raleigh-Durham's educational lift, to the wealth-building power of Prince George's County, each city shows a different path to thriving. These places go beyond just offering jobs or homes, they give Black families real chances to grow, find support, and build lasting legacies. So, where do you feel most empowered? Drop your city in the comments and hit subscribe to stay in the know on thriving communities. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone planning their next move. These cities prove the American dream can be rebuilt on your own terms. Find your match and make it home.